Welcome back to Coffee Talk. Grab your coffee,
Yes.
guys. Join us for our talk today. We're Keith and Terri.
Yes.
We talk all things retirement, aging, all kinds of different
Yes.
things, and we share our retirement travels with you. We'd appreciate it if you hit that like button and
Yes.
subscribe to our channel.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Today we're going to be talking about aging in place. What is that, and what are some of the challenges of aging in place?
Aging in place is simply as you get older, you have to make a decision. What am I going to do? Am I going to stay where I am and age in my home, or am I going to go to assisted living or some other living situation? So it's something that you need to think about
Mm-hmm.
and make preparations for.
Because there are benefits and there are challenges to aging in place.
Some of the benefits is that you're in your own home.
Yes.
And especially as you age, there's something about being at home. It gives you that independence.
Yes.
You know, if you're in assisted living, you don't get to choose when you eat your lunch or when you take a shower. They have days
It's
that you take a
structured.
shower. Yeah, it's very structured. Where if you're in your own home, you're more independent and you get to make your own choices
Yes.
more than you do if you're in a facility.
Was at home, like us, we normally eat about 3:30 or so, and we're especially in the wintertime in our pajamas by 5 o'clock. And in assisted living or somewhere, like I said, it's very structured. You may not be eating till 5 or 6 o'clock, but they have certain times, and if you don't meet those times, you just probably won't eat.
You adhere to their schedule.
Yes.
And so it's important to know these things
Mm-hmm.
before you go into it. One of the benefits of aging in place is psychological well-being.
Mm.
You're in your home where you're comfortable. It's familiar to you, and you've got your own routine, and so that's a very good benefit
Yeah.
of aging in place.
Then another benefit is the cost efficiency.
Yeah, because we own our home.
Yeah.
And so if we went to an assisted living place, we would have to pay megabucks
Yeah.
to live there. And um, we've looked at some senior homes and so forth, but it costs a lot.
Yeah.
And if you own your own home, as you get older, like you don't have that expense, it's a lot more economical to
Very
age in
economical.
place.
Very.
So, another benefit is, and we talked about this
Yeah.
earlier, your personal autonomy. You get to control your own life, to control your
Yeah.
own
You talked about
schedule,
that. Yes.
and it's so much more beneficial emotionally to people as they age because I can speak for myself on this. As I get older, I don't like changes.
Mm-mm.
And it's harder to make changes.
Yes.
And so when a loved one gets older, it's even harder for
Yeah.
them to make changes.
Yes, their
So
home is their palace, and they want to stay there as long as possibly can. My mom would always say, I don't want to ever leave my home. I don't want to ever leave my home. Now, when she got to the point where she knew she couldn't stay at her home, she was in her late 80s. Then she was fine with going to a skilled nursing facility.
my mother's 89. She lives in a senior living apartment. She lives independently.
Mm-hmm.
However, everybody in that apartment complex, it is such a community. They
Mm-hmm.
all look after
Yes.
one another. And then, of course, we look in on her and make sure everything's good. But she needs that independence. That's what makes her happy. And as long as she can do that, she wants to do it. And so there's just a lot to be said for aging in place.
Yes.
So, one of the things that you have to do if you decide that you're going to age in place or your parents are going to age in place. You need to make some home modifications. You need to have grab bars in your bathroom.
Yes.
These are things that you don't think about when you're younger. You don't think about, oh, I'm going to need a grab
Yeah.
bar, because you rarely lose your balance.
Yeah. You don't think about slipping and falling when you're 20, 30, or 40.
And you can even get the higher toilets, because it's hard for older people to get up and down off the toilet because it's hard on their knees.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get the higher toilets. You can get those things that have the handles that they can push themselves up from the toilet. There's lift chairs if they have trouble getting up and down. Uh, there's life alerts. Our son, he lives here with us, but there's many times when we're not here. He has a button that he can push to get help if he should fall,
Yes.
if he needs it. It just gives you peace of mind.
Yes.
And so if you have an older parent or relative, that might be something that you check into. If they want to be independent and they want to live on their own, if they had one of those, it gives you peace of mind. It gives us so much
Yes.
peace of mind, because our son falls a lot. And knowing that if he falls down, all he has to do is push that button and somebody will come and help him. I can't even tell you.
It's got a GPS
Yes.
on, buildings in it, and they know exactly where he's at. They'll have someone there within 10 minutes.
So that gives us such peace of mind.
Yes.
That we can go out and do the things that we do, and we don't have to worry about him.
Yes.
So that's a great thing. Also, a thing to think about is, if someone is living independently, they may need help with technology. Everything,
yes,
seems like these days is run by computer, and they have trouble. So I know we have to go rescue my mom every now and then. Her iPad quits or whatever, and she doesn't know what to do. It's just a fact of life that technology rules our lives.
It sure does.
No matter how old we are. Another thing that you could check into if you decide to age in place is community resources that are out there to help you. I know where we live, they have a van that comes and gets elderly people, takes them to the grocery, takes them to doctor appointments, different things like that. There is a meal site that they can go and get a meal every day if they can't cook or whatever. There's just a lot of resources. So wherever you live, that would be something to investigate.
Yes.
What is in my community that can help either yourself or your parents or whoever it is that's deciding to age in place? Because there really is a lot of things out there.
A lot of resources
to help elderly people. And it's, I think, better for the community if elderly people can safely age in place. I think it's better all around for everyone involved, because they're going to be happier. They're going to be probably healthier than they would be if they had to move to some sort of facility. But it may get to the point where they cannot safely be independent. And then that's where we need to make the choice of putting in assisted
difficult
living
choices
or whatever. Yes, they are difficult choices. They really are. But it's good to know that those choices are out there and that we can make these choices. And there's even places that will build ramps if you can't get up and down steps anymore. Another thing we don't think about when we're younger, you move into a house that has all these steps and then your knees go bad. Like, how you get up and down the steps? But there's places that come and build ramps. There's those stair lift things that you can get if you have to go upstairs and go to the bedroom and you can't get up there anymore. You can get one of those installed to take you up and down the stairs. I mean, there's just so many resources out there today that can help you. So every now and then, you have to assess the situation. Is whoever it is, are they still okay aging in place? We always need to have somebody checking in to make sure everything is good. And if not, then we need to have alternatives in place that we can implement. So, aging in place really is, I think, the best way to
Yeah.
go if you can. But there's people who
Yeah.
can't. If you have dementia, there's no way that you can live
Yeah.
independently. So, there's just a lot of things to consider. And if you have some suggestions, let us know in the comments. And if there's a subject that you would like for us to talk about, let us know in the
Yes.
comments as well. We'll see you next time on Retired
And
and Loving
loving it.
It. If you'd like to see more of our videos, click the video that just popped up on your screen